What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, talking today about the PlayStation 5 because we finally know the last major details about it. Up until now, we know the really important stuff like the release date, the price, the launch games, but the final thing that people have been curious about is what's inside the system itself. What is this thing actually going to do? How is it going to work? Well, today I'm actually up way before the sun has even risen. It's very early in the morning. I'm actually currently alive only because of Red Bull, and we're going to be digging into some tech stuff. And I feel like what's happened this morning, it's very, very revealing in some positive ways. So as you can see here, this is over on the PlayStation blog, and they're doing a PlayStation 5 Teardown, an inside look of our most transformative console yet. Now this is a 7-minute long video. I will link it down below. They show us a lot of different stuff about the system that we just hadn't seen before. And there's 3 things in here that I find very, very crucial, even if you don't care about GPUs or clock speeds or solid state drives. There is some very good information in this that I'm very, very happy that we have confirmed. Now let's look at number 1, which is actually here at the top, the size. This is one of the concerns I had. Let me just say this honestly. I don't have a very big entertainment center. I always think that I have to try and keep things very, very well sized and placed. My little bins here that have like my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox, these are like about 1.5 foot each. You know, they're decently sized. They fit a normal console, but I was a little bit nervous with some of those leaked photos and stuff that the PlayStation 5 was going to be a very big boy. This does confirm it. Even when you're seeing it from different angles and stuff, like, look at how wide this system is. The PlayStation 5, the rumor was that it was going to be one of the biggest consoles ever. Oh, that's actually my alarm. That shows how early I'm awake. Oh, God. There we go. Sorry about that. Please like and subscribe because, man, am I up early. Now, this definitely confirms it. The system is physically enormous. But now that we've actually gotten past the size, this brings me to something I'm very happy about. Probably the thing I think is most interesting. So, yeah, here we're getting a good look at the vertical stand. We now know that you can just unscrew it and set it up whether you want it to be horizontal or vertical. It's very easy to do. I'm happy that the stand is easy to use, but let's face it, this doesn't really matter. What's cool to me is this. You can actually remove the top and bottom plates, and even in the video they use the term very easy to do. So I think this pretty much confirms. I think the reason they're doing this isn't just to try and show like, hey, you can snap our system apart if you want. I think that this is a sign that we're going to get some of those customizable skins. Do you remember when we used to get like those cheesy decals for the Xbox 360 so you could make it look like Gears of War, or if you really, really loved Crackdown, you could put like the Crackdown zombies from Crackdown 2 on there? I think that this is cool. I mean, I'm kind of a fan for customization. I like whenever you can get a console and put that flair on it. You can do that thing that makes it your particular system. And I'll just be honest, no matter what, if they release a Spider-Man 1, even if it is a crappy, low-quality JPEG or something, I'm definitely buying a Spider-Man skin for mine. Because God of War is great. You know, I'm super glad that the next God of War is probably going to be fantastic, but a Spider-Man PlayStation 5 that I get to make myself? Heck freaking yeah. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is one that's a little bit more detailed. So there has been some pictures and stuff going around now about how the PlayStation 5 is going to keep itself cool. There have been some rumors that there's been some difficulty with the Xbox Series X. The quote is hot like a fireplace. It sounds like some of the people that have the Xbox Series X are claiming that it puts off a lot of heat. But I don't think that some people realize that this is a good thing. Systems are supposed to be putting off heat. Mostly because if it's pushing the heat out of the system, that's a good sign. It's showing that all the expensive tech inside of it isn't just melting because you plugged it in. Well, now that we're having this detailed teardown, we're seeing things like the liquid metal cooling, the fan, which look at the size of his hand compared to this fan. This is an enormous fan, and we're seeing the actual heat sink itself. Now, I want to talk about this fan. I have talked to people and they've basically said that bigger fans like this are great because that's typically the secret to a quiet console. The bigger the fan, the slower it can move. It doesn't have to be, if you have a bunch of really teeny tiny fans, they have to spin at 1,000,000 miles an hour to try and actually keep up with the heat that's being put off, right? It's the only way to keep the thing from exploding in your household and making it look like El Diablo, is to try and keep it cooled off. This big fan is probably the reason why we keep seeing those quotes of the PlayStation 5 is whisper quiet. Oh, I didn't even know it was on. Oh, is this my PlayStation 5? Oh, my PlayStation 5 is on. That's very good to me because some people have this weird thing like, look, I love my PlayStation. I'm a big PlayStation fan. I have literally 1,000,000 PlayStation controllers around me and my PlayStation Vita charged and playable on my freaking desk. But I think that there's this weird thing where PlayStation fans want to pretend that the PS4 doesn't have a noise problem. Like, whenever people say, oh my god, my fans are so fast, like my PlayStation 4 is roaring. Some Sony fans want to deny that. It's just a fact. The PlayStation 4 can get to be particularly loud. So I am happy that this is going to be a more silent system because that probably means it's going to just live even longer. Now, the other half of that is definitely this enormous heat sink. And this is the reason the system itself is so big. If you actually look at the entire teardown, we're going to click back to it here for a second. As he dismembers this, and he's opening it up, you can see that inside the system itself, this is a majority of the size. There is a lot of other tech in here. There's some really interesting tech, but you can see that a majority of the size inside the system comes down to that heat sink. That heat sink is enormous. It looks like this is literally the reason that the system is so big, is just because this giant chonker inside the system itself. Now, let's just be clear, I already had a PlayStation 5 pre-ordered. I already was going to buy it just because I want the games themselves, but it's interesting seeing the final technical details. We really are now just about a month away from the system itself, I guess 5 weeks before the launch of the PlayStation 5, and it's truly heating up. I still hope that we get some sort of more hands-on preview. I hope that journalists or some YouTubers are getting a chance to play the PlayStation 5 in person, because it is still a little bit weird that currently so many people actually have an Xbox Series X inside of their house. They're testing so many games on it, and the PS5 is still just sitting at the factory, I guess, getting technical teardowns done to it. But I guess we're going to know a lot more soon because we're all going to get it. I bet you the system itself is probably going to leak about a week before release. A lot of times this ends up happening, and we'll all get a much better glance at it then. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been an early morning video by Dreamcastguy. If you enjoyed this video, please share it somewhere. Give it a like. It seriously helps out videos. If you smash that thumbs up, you don't have to do anything else. But if you want, you can subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, gamers, and do me a big favor and keep dreaming. I'm awake really early, but I'm actually editing right now a big video about Baldur's Gate 3. That game is super good. There's going to be a big video about Baldur's Gate 3 here in a couple hours, once this Red Bull kicks in. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.